Hello to everyone in the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Cathedral community and all of our friends. This is Father Jonathan. Today we're going to continue our ongoing reflections on the Psalms of liturgical worship with a continuation of the meditation we began not too long ago on Psalm 141, and the psalm that we chant in its entirety during Vespers. We started off with Psalm 103 and then, of course, Psalm 140. And this psalm is chanted as part of the Kekregaria in Vespers, that is, getting its name from the first line of Psalm 140, Kyrie Kekrexan in Greek, and it continues in this with Psalm 141. Now, we have reflected on the need to call out to God in times of affliction. It is, of course, true that God knows our needs before we ever call upon Him. And in fact, He knows our needs better than we do. So even when we ask for something, sometimes we don't receive it because God knows exactly what we need, and we only sometimes think we know what we need. As David notes in this psalm, in verse 3, "When my spirit was fainting within me, then thou knewest my paths." When we are depleted, when our hearts and our souls are on the brink of despair, fainting, God knows our needs, knows what we are suffering. Though sometimes we need some guidance in these times. Yes, we call out to God, but to hear His voice eludes us, and we need encouragement to know what to do next. God will put before us in our paths guides that will show us the way we should go, though we are not always so blessed. About this, St. Simeon the New Theologian writes, "If by the grace of God you have found a spiritual father, tell him your thoughts and tell them to him alone. If you have not, raise your eyes continually to Christ and always view him as the one spectator of your despondency and affliction." Though as I noted, we can also find support and encouragement from God-inspired guides, spiritual fathers, spiritual mothers. So we should pray that God will place them in our lives. And in doing so, hopefully we will have an ongoing presence that will lead us to greater and greater fruit in cultivating a deeper spiritual life. But St. Simeon continues about this, what we should ask for. We should say, "Send me a person who knows you, that by entirely submitting myself to this person's service as to yours, and by fulfilling your will by doing this, I may please you, the only God, and be awarded your kingdom, even I, a sinner." So we ought to be on a prayerful lookout for such a guide. When we are lost, desperate perhaps, through them, God will answer our supplications. So be mindful. Be mindful who you go to for spiritual guidance. There are many people that perhaps aren't the best spiritual guides, despite their role within the church community. Watch out. Be on guard. Don't pick someone simply because of how they look, but test their spirit. Seek God's inspiration of the Holy Spirit to know precisely who should be our guide, because our guide needs to be someone who can lead us to the kingdom. We don't want to be led astray, not because someone is malicious only, but because perhaps they are still struggling in their own journey. So it is important. In all things, we must remember to call upon God who knows Himself our needs. Everything that we need, God knows, and He seeks us. He seeks for us to reach out to Him as He reaches out to us eternally. With that, God bless you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Don't hesitate to reach out. Leave us a message in the comments section. Send us a note on social media. You can call us. You can email us. We really like to hear from you. If you'd like to support this ministry, there'll be a link down below. We'd be glad for your financial support, but most importantly, we would just be glad for you to reach out to us to let us know what you think of these beautiful offerings that all of the clergy are doing, Father Vasilios and Father Christian as well. Again, we love you. We're here for you. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and God bless.